Hello family, welcome back to another episode of Flavors of Ruby, where we make the most delicious meals but in its simplest form. So for today's recipe, we have the almighty jollof rice. Yes, you heard me right, the almighty jollof rice. Come along with me as I take you through one of the simplest way I make my jollof rice. So for this particular recipe, let me show you my fresh ingredients, which is I have my onions, my ginger, my garlic, my hot peppers, my red bell peppers, and my fresh tomatoes. I gave it a very good wash, chopped them and just threw them into the air fryer. So that's the idea, is to cut down the cooking time on the stove. So doing that pre-cooks the veggies and it also helps get the food cooked faster. So I set my air fryer at 390 degrees and cooked it for 20 minutes. After which I strained so that I can get as much of the juice out of it as possible. And then I blended it. For the rest of my ingredients, I have my onions and my tomato paste, my seasonings, I have my salt to taste, I have my rice and my veggie mix, yes, blended and ready to go, and also my oil. And to my pan, I put in the oil. That's olive oil, but you can choose to use any oil that you want. And I start off with small because I know at the end of the day I will increase it, but I don't want to start with a lot of oil. Trying to cut down on the oil. So into the pan, I put in my onion, allowed it to cook for about 7 minutes. I added my tomato paste, gave it a good stir, allowed it to cook for about 10 minutes. Yes, 10. After which I added the blended vegetable mix. I realized I needed more oil, so I added a little bit more. Gave it a good stir, covered it to cook for about 6 minutes. After that, I added my jollof seasoning. And that's my Kivo and Remy mix seasoning. A little salt to taste, and I also gave it a very good stir. Covered it to cook for an additional 7 minutes. As you can see, once you see the oil settle at the top like this, then it's ready. I then transferred it into a bigger pot because for jollof need a good amount of room to really cook well. So yes, I transferred it into my bigger pot. I added my rice. Giving it a very good stir to mix. Then again, I tasted for the salt and I realized it needed a little bit more salt. Mind you, we're gonna add some water, and water dilutes. So I usually go heavy on the salt because I know once I add water, the salt content is gonna come down. So yes, I go a little bit, but I'm very careful not to over salt. But hey, do you. If you don't like a lot of salt, do just that. Yes, so after that I just put my wax paper and then my aluminum foil on. I don't add a lot of water. What you do is you just add a little bit of water. The other thing too is that it depends on your rice. There's new and there's old crop rice. So if your rice is new crop, don't do a lot of water. If it's old, then it means it needs a lot of water. But I always make sure that I don't add too much water to my rice because I want it to come out single. As you can see, after about 15 minutes, I gave it a good stir and then I allowed it to steam to cook for another 10 minutes. And you can see it's ready. When you look at it, and it tastes really good. That's the end result. I paired this with beef stir fry. It was really delicious. I hope you give it a try, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Have a wonderful day. Bye.